Hi everyone, welcome back to another installment of What's Ya Reading, where librarians from the DeKalb County Library System talk about books that we are reading during social isolation. My name is Fran, and I am from the North Lake Library.
And I am Angela, and I'm from the County Line Ellenwood Library.
And my name is Mia, and I'm from the Decatur Library.
My name is Nicole, and I'm from the Harrison Crossing Library.
And hey everyone, today we are going to be talking about a free service called Sync. Sync is a service that every summer offers audiobooks for teens completely for free. And those are accessible through an app called Sora. So a little bit more info on how Sync works. It's a completely free summer audiobook program for teens 13 plus. It runs from April 30th until July 29th. We're a little bit late telling you about it. If you're watching this on the 13th of May, you can access the books that are week 2. There are 2 books accessible every week. So if you're watching this on Wednesday when it goes live, definitely go and get those week 2 books. One of them, Picture Us on the Light, is really, really good. So Sync gives participants 2 thematically paired audiobooks every week. They're completely free. And the way that you get those is you download an app called Sora. It's a student reading app from Overdrive. However, you don't have to be a student to download it and listen to these books. I'm not a student and I'm listening to one right now. All you have to do is go to the App Store if you have an iOS device, or the Google Play Store, and you can get that app and start downloading these books for free. There's information about how to do that on audiobooksync.com. We'll put that link in the description as well. And we're going to tell you about some of the books we're most excited about that are coming up for free on Sync. So for me, the book that I'm most excited to read is coming up in week 5. We are currently on week 2, so expect to see that in about 2 or 3 weeks, since we're at the very tail end of week 2. It is called Serpent and Dove, and it is by Shelby Mahurin. I have not read this book yet, but I am very excited about it, just reading the summary, which I will read to you now. I can get that up. So basically, there is, it's the first in a fantasy duology, which is nice to have a series, but you know that it's not going to keep going and keep going. Second book comes out in September. But this is about a teen, Louise LeBlanc, who is in a witch coven, and she flees her coven and she goes to live somewhere else and renounces magic, but there's a witch hunter who finds her, and due to a twist of fate, the 2 of them end up married. Which yeah, I mean, it sounds like a fanfic, so I'm 100% here for it. Really excited. It has amazing reviews on Goodreads if you wanted to go check those out. So reading the reviews for it and just the plot, like it sounds kind of cool, witchcraft, and also enemies to being married. I assume they are still enemies even though they're married. It just sounds pretty exciting. So that is week 5 that you're going to find that book. It is paired with In Search of Us by Ava DeLyra, and she's written, I haven't read that one either, but she's written some other books that I've read that were really good. So check out week 5.
All right. Okay, so I have week 6. In the book, there's 2 books, Into White and Like No Other. Into White by Randy Pink is the one that I'm recommending. I have not read it. I plan on reading it because I was curious when I read the plot line, but essentially it's about a girl. She lives in Montgomery, Alabama, and she goes to an all-white school. She's a black girl that goes to an all-white school, and her life isn't the way she wants it, and you know, she's bullied a little bit and everything, and she wishes, well, let me take that back. She prays to Jesus that, you know, please, if I could just be anything but black. And so when you hear that, you know, it's a little, So anyway, she wakes up the next morning and she's blonde-haired, white, popular girl at school. And I chose this book because it seemed really controversial, and it also reminded me loosely of The Bluest Eye by Toni Morrison, which is a book that was written back, I think, I'm not sure, back when, maybe in the 80s, about a young girl who wishes that she had blonde hair and blue eyes. And so, but then the fact that she changes into a white girl, for the, it's kind of like Freaky Friday. So you're like, okay, where's this going? So it's kind of like all over the place. I checked it on Goodreads. It's kind of slapped there in the middle, where some people are going, this is the weirdest and unrealistically, thing, and some people saying this is a wonderful book. And I think this book is here to draw controversy and to spark conversation. So, and it's the reason why I chose it. So I'm gonna give it a chance. I'm gonna try to read Into White, and I like kind of picking those little oddballs that's out there. So that's why I chose that one. And it is paired with Like No Other, another book that seems a little unrealistic for the masses, so to speak, where a Hasidic Jewish girl falls for a West Indian boy. And not only does their races, but their religions are a major factor. And this one also on Goodreads, it falls smack there in the middle. Some people say, "Oh my God, I love it," and some say they hate it. And I said, let me see. I like the I like the oddballs. I'm sorry, I just so
Those are often the ones that you get the best discussion of, right?
I'm also one of those that I always root for the underdog. So that's why I picked them. And I like Randy Pink. I read another one of her books and I really enjoyed it. So I'm gonna try this one. So we'll see how it goes in week 6.
I think too, sometimes those books make really good book club books. So I think and since they're free, that might be a fun thing to do if you want to start a book club, is to read one of those.
Exactly. And I think that I like trying to read outside my comfort zone. If it makes you feel a little bit uncomfortable, good. It's probably what it was meant to do. So just try it, and see where you go with that. And if you hate it, let us know. Hey, I hated that book.
Our feelings will not be hurt. We'll help you.
Not even the slightest.
Not at all. Like, we just want to hear your feedback on it. Let us know.
That's something I always say at the branch when I'm recommending a book and I'm trying to help someone. I'm like, feel free to say you don't want to read it or you don't like it, because I'm always like, I didn't write the book. It won't hurt my feelings.
Exactly.
Just don't tweet at the author directly. At the author if you hated the book. Like, please. None of us need that negativity in our year of 2020.
Exactly. Exactly.
So on the following week, which I think it's that week 6. I know it's June 11th through June 17th.
Week 7. Yeah, you're on week 7.
Sorry, week 7. And because I generally, I didn't challenge myself this week, I went with my usual fantasy. And the one I picked was called Mark of the Raven. It's a book of the Ravenwood Saga by Morgan Bussey. And it's about a girl named Lady Celine who's a dreamwalker. And so she's waiting to inherit that power. And when you do, you can go into people's dreams and manipulate their feelings. And the family is often hired out as assassins or to gather information. So I liked the little intrigue. It sounds like there's some sibling rivalry. I guess her sister wants the power also. And I kind of like when there's it sounds like there's a lot of, intrigue. So I kind of liked that aspect. And then there's a family's deep dark secret that she starts to uncover once she inherits the power. So it sounded really good. And the cool thing about this site is you can actually download a snippet, because sometimes it doesn't matter how good the book is. If the audio, you don't like the person reading the audio, it's kind of hard to get into. So that one, the audio, she seemed like someone I could listen to reading the book. So I liked that part of it. It was paired with a book, I'm not sure about the tie-in, but it was called Easy Prey by Catherine Lowe. And that one said that it was about a teacher's sort of risque photos that 3 students find before they go viral, and sort of sounds like what they do with which one leaked it, it sounds like someone has to confess. So not fantasy and a little on a different spectrum. So
like mystery almost, like
that's true.
scandal / mystery. Like maybe that'd be a better link to One of Us is Lying, which is a book that Angela recommended a few weeks ago. Like that sounds more like that.
I just started it.
Nice.
I swear.
I never apologize for wrecking fantasy. There it is. One of Us is next. Yeah, never apologize for wrecking fantasy. I feel like you are our like in-house fantasy expert. So if it sounds good to you, then you know it's probably good. It's like it's nice to have a genre that you're really seasoned at. So
thanks.
All right, and I am coming up at the end of our recommendations, and I actually chose the recommendations for the last week. So lucky week 13, and that is July 23rd through July 29th. And what I chose was a book called Burn Baby Burn by Medina. I have never read this book before, but as a true crime enthusiast, it really caught my attention. During the summer of 1977 in New York, it's, there's arson, there's massive blackouts, and a serial killer on the loose named Son of Sam. And it's about 17-year-old Nora, and she has to deal with all of that going on outside of her life, as well as the turmoil inside of her life. It's a first-person narrative. It's historic fiction, because Son of Sam is a real thing that happened. And honestly, it just sounded really, really interesting to me. So I really can't wait to read that. And I'm going to download that app. I'm so excited because I thought only students could. So I'm excited.
It did not ask me for any kind of verification that I was a student. I just went to the iOS store, downloaded it. I've got Pictures from the Light on my phone right now to listen to. And I'm not sure when exactly they disappear. I don't think that they disappear at the end of the month if you go ahead and get them in the app. But I didn't see any kind of time. If I figure that out, I'll put that in the description of the video on YouTube as well. But I know this is a little bit different than our usual videos because we are wrecking books that we have not read before. We don't have access to these books yet on the site, but they're ones that we're really excited for. We hope that you find some on the site that interest you as well. Let us know what you think about them if you read them. Also, let us know if there's any type of recommendations that you would like to hear. If you want to hear more fantasy recommendations from Mia, if you want more contemporary romance, mystery, if you want more Murderino Rex, Nicole can help you. Shout out to the true crime fans. And just let us know, and we will see you next week with more recommendations. Bye.
Bye.